this drum, this is your third gear drum. It has 3 seals, okay? One goes inside the drum there. The others go on the apply piston. One on the outside, one on the inside. This is what we're going to do. We're going to put these 2 seals on the apply piston. You are going to remove this seal, discard, and don't use it. So this is the TH350 transmission, non-lockup. What that does is it takes from dividing the surface area here, okay? The surface area here is where the fluid pushes and applies the clutch pack, okay? Your frictions and steels pack here, okay? When fluid gets behind here, it pressurizes, lifts the assembly, and clamps the clutches, and then you got your gear. By removing this inner seal, you now have the combined surface area of not only this, but you also have this. So now you have a bigger surface area, and that will apply more pressure, and that will hold. Where it gets its pressure is from these feed holes. These feed holes, I do chamfer. I take Scotch-Brite, or I take a not 600, but 1,000 grit sandpaper, wet sandpaper, and I'll just run over that really fast. You just want to hone it a little. You don't want to take any material. Make sure the surface is flat and there's no grooves. These channels get fed from your pump, and there's your intermediate clutch right here. You have a spacer here because this transmission came with a bearing here, so you'll have a spacer right here. The ones that use the flat bushings, they don't use a spacer. You'll put your spacer on with your roller bearing, and then you'll put the first seal on here. You will not be putting a seal here, and you will be putting a seal here. Okay? Why do you do that? That's because when this drum goes on here, okay, you want to allow that fluid from this channel and this channel to apply both sections at the same time. That'll fix that. This drum has a thin bushing, okay? You can get 2 of these bushings and double them up in there and then grind away the excess. Make sure that you get below this ledge right here. Why do you want to get below this ledge? Because there is a bearing that slides in there. It has an outer race that slides in here and rests on here. You want to make sure that that bearing does not touch this bushing. So make sure you grind enough of that second bushing off, because it will stick up. And make sure you radius the edge. Or this bushing is out of a Ford Cruise-O-Matic. This is a Ford Cruise-O-Matic bushing. Okay, this bushing is 3/4 of an inch wide. 3/4 of an inch wide is right there. Stock 350 bushing, Cruise-O-Matic bushing. What that does is when this drum is spinning, I mean, these things spin fast, it'll prevent this. It'll prevent it from rocking. That solves that. Also hit this with 1,000 or Scotch-Brite for the outside. What else? Okay. The apply piston. How much you want to take off of this? Well, there's really no set number because these come various heights. These are mass produced. Some are taller, some are lower. Where's this one at? This one is at 715. I think the original height is, the original height was 830, okay? This was machined down to 715, okay? What that does, it lowers the ledge. Let me get some clutches to where you can get 5 frictions in here, okay? The more frictions you have, the more holding power this has. The more holding ability this has, the more holding power. So you're going to apply more power and it won't slip. You can now fit 5 in here with the help of the different thickness apply plate. These come in different thicknesses. If you do not have a dial caliper, you can just look at it and tell what the thickness is. How can you do that? This is how you do that. See that mark right there? See how wide these cuts are? This will tell you the thickness. This is a 235 disc. One notch is the wide notch right here is 235. A wider notch is 265. A very thin notch, almost like a V cut. Almost a V cut. Here's a V cut. This is your 2. Okay? That's how you tell it just by looking at it. Also, if you just see that mark and no other mark, it is a 2. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. 2. Notches here, and they also, let me grab another one. I had to stop the video and had to get the direct drum. All right, here's another one. Here's your identification. This has what you see, the medium size length there. You also see one notch here. There's a 235 just by looking at it. Just the identification mark, 2. One notch, 235, and the other notch would be here. This would be 265 if you had a notch here. They also did, I don't have it here right now. It's currently being used, but let's pretend that this is another style where you can identify it. You got it, got your identification mark, and what it'll have is a line like this. It'll be lengthwise. This will be 235 with one mark. If it has another mark like this, this is 265 thickness. All right. Shift kits. You can get a shift kit. Comes with this plate. These shift kits are designed to, these shift kits are designed, okay, to not take the transmission out of the vehicle. That's why they add that channel. There's your reverse. There's your reverse channel, okay? What that does is this channel right here, this will feed both sides of this piston. So it'll apply both areas. Like I said, these are made to where you can just put these in and you don't have to worry about removing the seals here. Can you do both? Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, it does the same thing. There's 2 holes in this plate. Usually I see it better with the gasket. Hold on. There you go. These holes right there. You can go as much as 125. All right? You drill these out to 1/8. I wouldn't go more than 1/8. This will supply more fluid. Other things I want to hit on, you got different governor springs. You'll have your valve body spring. Here's your valve body spring. Okay. If you have a green spring in your valve body already, I'd just leave it. Green springs are great. If you got a shift kit, I usually put the orange for competition, red for street. What else? Let me grab the valve body. Here's the valve body. It's a little dirty. I haven't cleaned it yet. 4L60, put it there. The second valve, okay, which would be this one right here. See that? That moves. All right, see? This valve right here, if you put it in a low gear, 1 gear, okay, you got to drive to 1. If you put it in 1 and you slam the gas and you let that engine tack up, your governor will tell this thing to shift. This valve right here, it will shift, okay? To prevent it from shifting and to have a manual valve body with full automatic operation, you're going to weld the valve right here so it doesn't move. In its relaxed position, you're going to weld the valve right there. Or they do have a clip that you put in here. They come in shift kits. Again, it was designed for you not to remove the transmission, just the valve body. They give you a clip, you slide it down in there, you bolt the valve body back in, you're good to go. If you reuse your original separator plate, drill these out to 120, 115. These are at your original hole is 90, 85, yep, 90. You got 85 and 90, 92, 93 valve holes right here. Drill them both bigger depending on how firm you want it to shift. I like 120, 115 to 120. I really don't. I don't drill them out to 125 or bigger. And then what you want to do, you want to install 2 check balls, okay? Now,